Hey, welcome back. Schools shut down across the north and north central, particularly Plateau State. Honorable Commissioner for Education, Dr. Kachollom Gang, joins us now to give us more insight on the closure and the plan for the future for the students. Honorable Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. I would like to first ask about, the concerns that led to the decision to close the Unity schools at this time. Was there any intelligence that was privy to your disposal to have informed this decision to close?
What I will say is that we are talking of government schools here and not Unity schools. The Unity schools belong to the federal government. We are talking of government and private schools in Plateau State. Yes, before we took the decision to close the schools, we had reports from our special advisor to the governor on security. Because when we started seeing the kidnapping in schools growing from one state to the other, we had to be proactive. If you remember, Plateau State has been on the news negatively because of attacks here and there. Plateau State has been a hot spot. And we thought if we are not proactive and anything happens, we will be blamed. So we discussed with the security special advisor on security to His Excellency. And we decided that it was best to close the schools because we don't, it's better to take proactive action than to cry after the harm has been done. So what we did was to save our students and to save our schools. And parents had started calling. Parents were getting jittery. And we didn't want to expose any child to any danger. And that was why we took this proactive decision for the good of everybody, the child in particular, to give the parents, to make the parents to at least with their children, they are more comfortable, and to also help the state so that at least we know we have taken an action and our children are safe. That was what informed our decision. Yes, some discussion with the security was done before we took the decision.
Now, Honorable Commissioner, you've assured that the academic calendar will not be affected. Can you explain what measures have been put in place to ensure that students don't, fall behind?
Hello?
If you can hear me, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I was asking, I said, you've assured that the academic calendar will not be affected. I'd like you to explain, what measures have been put in place to ensure that students do not fall behind.
At the time we closed the schools, most of the lessons for the term had been completed. What was left was revision and examinations because the schools had barely 3 weeks to close. So we looked at it, and why we have said that the academic calendar will not be affected is because lessons have already been completed. What was remaining was revision and examinations. So what we are planning is that when the school resumes for the second term, they will use the 2 weeks to do their revision and do their exams. Then the second term will resume. And I think we are missing just 2 weeks, which we believe can be covered in the second term. That was why we said that the academic calendar will not be affected. We will resume for the second term at the time we are supposed, the school is supposed to resume. And we are meeting to make sure that security is beefed up before the students resume second week of January. So we are discussing, we have a safe school office here in the state. We are discussing with them. We are putting plans in place to ensure that security is beefed up, the community is sensitized, communities are sensitized, local vigilantes are put on alert so that they can help provide additional security in our various schools in the state. So those are some of the actions that we are taking before the schools resume in January.
Now, during 2020, during the pandemic, we saw alternative learning plans, like virtual classes and e-learning, and also radio classes as well. Is this going to be adopted? Would there be a modified schedule for affected students during the closure?
Yes, what we have for schools that can continue with their lessons online, they have told us that there's no problem. They will do their lessons online. Some will even do their exams online. So those schools will not be affected at all. We are discussing with our television station in the state, and you may be aware that the federal government has released lessons for different classes, both the primary and secondary schools. We are working with SUBEB so that these lessons can be on our radio. We'll fix a time so that the students can listen to those lessons while they are at home. We are also encouraging parents not to keep their children idle. They should utilize this time to make sure that the students still remain active. They study their books, they prepare for their examinations next term when they resume. So the education of the child is not only for the school. Everybody is involved. The parents have their share, the schools have their share, the teachers have their share. And we hope that collectively we'll put our hands together, both as parents to ensure that, and as the state government, to ensure that learning continues even while the students are at home during this long holiday. The holiday is long because of the extra weeks that we have closed the school early. So we believe that they will be utilized to keep the students busy so that they can be ready for their examinations when they resume in the second term.
Honorable Commissioner, thank you so much for giving us this information. It's quite important that we hear this from you. However, what assurances can you give parents and even students today that their safety and their education remains top priority despite the security challenges?
Yes, the security challenges do not only affect Plateau State, they affect the whole country. And I'm sure the government of Plateau State is doing its best to improve security, in as much as the federal government is also doing its best. So we want to assure parents that we are making all plans. The final security depends on God. But as man, we will do as much as we can to ensure that when our children resume, they will be safe. We are discussing with the local governments. We will discuss with traditional rulers, security groups in the communities, to take an interest in securing the schools that are within their locations, so that together we can put our hands together and ensure that our children are studying in safe environments. I also want to call on the community and everybody to be vigilant. If you see something, say something. Sometimes we keep quiet until things happen. Then we start giving stories that, yes, we saw this, we saw that. We are raising public awareness to let people know that if they see anything, they should say it. It may be just something that may not be serious in the end, but at least they have said something and appropriate action has been taken. So I think it's a collective responsibility. Security is everybody's responsibility. And that is why we are involving everybody, the local governments, the wards, the traditional rulers, the development associations. We all want to, the school-based management committees that we have in our various locations, we want to use all of them. We will come together to ensure that we are on the lookout for any sign of any danger so that appropriate actions can be taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Commissioner Dr. Kachollom Gang, thank you for joining us and for sharing your insight with us. I mean, this is a critical discussion, and also News Central will continue to track developments so far. Thank you once again for staying with us.